Good day, grade 12 learners. Welcome to today's tourism lesson. My name is Lumka Mcokelwa. This lesson is brought to you by the Northern Cape Department of Education in collaboration with Phakama Research and Development. Grade 12 learners, we are still on our revision. Today we're doing tourism sectors. When we're talking tourism sectors, we're actually referring to the professional image of the business, the professional image of staff. We're talking to the basic conditions of employment. We're talking about the code of conduct. So those are the things that we're actually talking about when we get to this topic of the tourism sectors. So it is important that you always make sure that you understand. Grade 12 learners, we always look at the lesson objectives. What is it that needs to be achieved at the end of the topic? So obviously you must be able to define professional image. Remember, I said to you we're talking of the professional image of staff and also the professional image of the company or the business. So it is important that first of all you must be able to define professional image. Secondly, grade 12 learners, we must be able to identify aspects of professional image of the staff and also of the tourism business. And also explain the conditions of employment and explain the purpose and value of a code of conduct. So those are the objectives of this lesson. So if this lesson was taught and still you cannot be able to do this, it means we haven't studied well. So you need to go back to the topic, grade 12 learners, and try to study so that you are able to understand the things that you need to achieve in this topic. Obviously, this is taken from the examination guideline, page 10, because we are always guided by this examination guideline on what to teach and what to study or what to learn. So there's nothing we can do that is outside the examination guideline. Grade 12 learners, it is important. Grade 12 learners, we always have to go through the examination tips because this is something that will help you to understand how to answer each and every question of a specific topic that you are doing or a specific question that you are doing. So in this topic, grade 12 learners, as part of the examination tips, you are expected to identify aspects that indicate a professional image of staff. This is staff. A professional image of staff. For example, the professional appearance, the uniforms and dress code. Remember, when you're talking about the professional appearance, as a person, you know when a person looks professional. Grade 12 learners, you can see that person is ready for his work or her work. He respects his or her work, or her job. So it's very important that you will spot that professional appearance in a person who takes his or her job seriously. And also the uniforms and the dress code. You will also understand, grade 12 learners, that some companies, some businesses, they offer uniforms to their staff. So this is not a problem. You just have to come to work on a daily basis wearing your uniform. But now the professional appearance also comes in here. You can wear your uniform. Some can wear his or her uniform and be untidy. And some people can wear it and be tidy, clean, neat. So that is very important. So in other businesses, you find that they do not have uniforms. They don't offer any uniforms to their employees, but they still have to tell them about the dress code. How are you supposed to dress? Are you in a formal environment, in a casual environment? Remember, the dress code will also depend on the type of the job that you are doing. It will also depend on the position that you are holding in that particular business. So uniforms and dress code, They also show that professional appearance in you as an employee. Personal hygiene also plays a very big role in the workplace environment, and as well as grooming. Remember, when you're talking personal hygiene, remember guys, your clothes, they have to be cleaned, they have to be washed, they have to be ironed. Your shoes, they have to be polished when you go to work. Grooming, you must shave. Your nails are supposed to be cut. If they are not cut, they're supposed to be very neat. So those are the things that you're actually talking about when we're talking about the professional image of staff that is working for that particular business in the tourism industry. Interaction with customers, grade 12 learners, is very important. When you deal with the customers, remember, you're supposed to be calm, you're supposed to be polite, you have to show that positive attitude of always wanting to help. So those are very important when you're dealing with the customers. So that is the interaction with the customers. Remember, grade 12 learners, in the tourism industry, we're actually selling the experience. So you don't want to sell a bad experience to the tourist. You always want to sell a good experience to them. So the way you interact with them, it will make them remember, oh, I was in South Africa and South Africans were so nice to me. The hospitality in South Africa. So we must strive to always interact with the customers in a very professional way. And also the communication skills, guys, they play a very big role. You will understand that in most cases, as South Africans, we deal with so many tourists who are coming from other countries. So the way we communicate with them, we have to also consider the fact that English is not even their first language. So you cannot be fast, you cannot be too loud. You just have to be calm again. And also you use sentences that are simple when you're communicating with them. And your English must be very clear when you're talking to them so that they can hear each and everything that you are communicating to them with. So that is very important. And also, grade 12 learners, you're supposed to identify the aspects that indicate a professional image of the business now in the tourism industry. Apart from the people, the employees who are working for that business, we're also looking at the business itself. What is it that shows, what aspects are actually showing that the business is using a professional image? So here it is the name of the business. Grade 12 learners, you learned that when we're talking of the name of the business, it has to be easy to read, easy to pronounce. It doesn't confuse the customers. So it is important that when the customer, it must also be clearly written, so that the customers are able to see the name of your business when they come to your business. They don't have to look for the name of the business. They must see the name in front of them, and they will enter your business and use your business. It's going to be difficult for them if they don't even see the name of the business. The logo of the business, you've used so many businesses, grade 12 learners. You have used your KFC, your McDonald's, your Chicken Licken, your ShopRite, your Boxer, your Pick n Pay. So you have used so many businesses where you find that while you are still far from the business, but you are able to see the logo of that business. So it has to be clear. The slogan of the business, it must be eye-catching. It must talk to the product that the business is actually selling, or the service that the business is rendering, because that slogan is always promising something to the customer. So the slogan must align with the logo and also the name of the business. That is very important. The website of the business, if we are saying it shows a professional image of the business, or it is another aspect that shows a professional image of the business, a website must be user-friendly. That's number one. It doesn't have to confuse the customers. for them to get to everything that is in their website, they have to struggle. No, it must be user friendly. And obviously, in most cases, you find that the website is in the colors of the company. So once you click there, once you go to the website, already when you see the colors, you're trusting this is the correct company that I actually want to email something, or you want to research about something in that business. So the website must be user friendly. It must always be up to date. The information that is there must always be up to date, like your addresses, because when you want directions to go to that business, you actually use the address that is written there. The contact details, they must update them all the time, so that when the customers want to call, they don't reach the lines that are not going to be picked, or the lines that are showing they don't even exist. So that is very important. And also, when it comes to stationery of the business, remember the stationery will be the pens, the pencils, the notepads, the business cards. All of those grade 12 learners, they need to show a professional image. They will be nicely written. They are very clean. The name of the company is written clearly. So that is the stationery. So if the company is using such, obviously it shows that it is very much professional. And also the marketing material. When they're marketing their business, they're not going to market their business using somebody else's company name, somebody else's logo, somebody else's slogan. They are going to use their own. So when they're marketing the business, you can see they're actually marketing for this company. And also the product packaging or product packages. Grade 12 learners, when you go to ShopRite to buy a certain product, let's say you want to buy butter. Now, there's Rama, maybe there's stock. You know exactly what is it that you want to buy. So the packaging itself is telling you this is the product that I want to buy. I don't want this one. I want to buy this one. Even when you go to McDonald's and KFC, or let's say Debonairs and KFC, the packaging, the product packaging will be very different. So you can see this one is from KFC and this packaging is actually from Debonairs. Or ShopRite and Pick n Pay. Even the plastics are very different in colors. So you are able to see this plastic is coming from Pick n Pay and this plastic is coming from ShopRite. So packaging, product packaging is also very important. And also the physical appearance of the business. Grade 12 learners, who does not want to work for a business that looks professional? Very neat from outside. The painting, the windows are clean. The parking lot is very nice and clean. Landscaping outside, you see those flowers and the grass, whatever. Very nice. So everyone will want to go to that business, will want to use that business because the physical appearance of that business is inviting to the customers. So obviously, they will want to use that kind of a business. And also, grade 12 learners must be able to explain the reasons why it is important for a tourism business to have professional image. Why is it important? It is important because once the customers see the business is actually having a professional image, they will have trust in the business. They will keep coming to the business. That is very important, grade 12 learners. You can imagine. So now, you're looking at the parking lot, you can see no one can even smuggle you. There are no criminals here. Instead, there are security guards. So you can see that you will want to use that business next time around because you feel so comfortable in this building and you're trusting that they actually going to meet your needs and also exceed your expectations as a customer in that business. And also, grade 12 learners, you must be able to explain ways in which an employee of a tourism business can use the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. For example, the leaves, the contract of employment itself, working conditions, fringe benefits, service ethics, remuneration, and deductions. So, meaning that now if a tourism business does not comply with the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, in fact, it violates the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, customers are not going to be able to use that kind of a business. So now this is talking to the leaves of staff, the people who are working for the business now. So the employees, they are entitled to this, grade 12 learners. Working hours, they are entitled to know, in fact, they have to know how many hours are they supposed to work. Once they work outside their normal working hours, we know there is overtime that needs to be paid to them. So here, the Basic Conditions of Employment Act is actually saying no exploitation of the workers or the exploitation of the employees in the workplace. So remuneration and deductions, how much are you getting as your salary? And then what is going to be deducted from your salary? Those are the things that are very important. So we actually want to say each and every company is supposed to comply with the Basic Conditions of Employment Act because it is law. So it is important. And also, grade 12 learners, we must be able to interpret and apply the information. Whatever information that is going to be given to you, you are going to apply the content, the knowledge that you got from class. So we don't know how the questions are going to be like, but we know the content that was taught is going to be assessed, is going to be examined in this upcoming grade 12 paper. Learners must know all the regulations contained in the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. So you are not only going to know there is an act that is called the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, but you need to know the regulations that are contained there in the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. I've mentioned leaves, I've mentioned working hours, I've mentioned lunch, I've mentioned work ethics. There's so many things that you need to know that are contained in the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. However, grade 12 learners, you are not required to memorize any legislation. You just have to know what it is all about, what regulations are there, but to memorize it, you are not supposed to. So, we've now come to the end of our examination tips. Grade 12 learners, I want to believe that you are going to use these examination tips because they're actually going to help you to pass the upcoming exam. We're only left with one examination in 2024. That is your final exam, and I know you're going to do your best, considering the fact that you're also given the examination tips. Grade 12 learners, we're now coming to the activities from the past papers. It is going to help you to always revise the past papers. That is going to help you because now you are able to see the questioning style, and also when we get to the solutions, you can see how you were actually supposed to answer that specific question. So it is very important that you always revise the previous question papers, grade 12 learners. And I want to say to you, when you're revising, can you deal with the question paper first? We know you can be able to download the memos and whatever, but can you wait for the memos? I mean, don't download the memos yet. Just download the question papers, revise the question papers, revise the question papers before you can go to the memo and mark yourself. So this is still section D, tourism sectors, question 7, grade 12 learners. In 7.1, refer to the picture below on aspects of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act and answer the questions that follow. So what is this question saying to you now, grade 12 learners? It is actually saying contract is one aspect of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. Leaves, because you have an annual leave here, you have a sick leave. So they are the aspects of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, and then you have the working hours. Now let's look at the question. What are they actually asking you? You see, I told you that it is important that you know all the regulations that are contained in the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. Once you know all of them, you will be able to answer a question like this one. What is the question now, guys? 7.1.1, state 4 aspects. You see? State 4 aspects that should be included in the contract of employment. In the contract of employment now, what are the 4 aspects that must be included? 7.1.2, explain how the following aspects of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act shown in the picture above. This is the picture, guys. It is here now. In the picture above will be applicable to a travel agent working full-time at a travel agency. You see now, you explain how the following aspects, which aspects are we talking about? The contract, the working hours, the annual leave, and the sick leave. How are they going to be applicable to a travel agent working full-time at a travel agency? What are we looking at here? We are looking at the working hours. We are looking at the sick leave. We are looking at the annual leave. That is the question. And now remember, grade 12 learners, when we go through these past papers, can you always have your pen and your paper so that you are able to jot down these questions? Try to answer the questions so that when we get to the solutions, you just mark yourself. So if you're looking at 7.1.1 now, it says, state 4 aspects that should be included in the contract of employment. Remember, there is a contract of employment as well. So what is there in the contract of employment? You also need to know that content. And also in 7.1.2, you must explain how the following aspects of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act shown in the picture will be applicable to a travel agent working full-time at a travel agency. So what can you say? How can the working hours affect the travel agent? How can the sick leave affect the travel agent and also the annual leave? So for 2 marks each, you must be able to explain that, grade 12 learners. Now let us go to the solutions and see. In 7.1.1, you are supposed to give the 4 aspects that are included in the contract of employment. So the contract of employment has got the employer and the employee details. That's number 1. It has got the working hours, because you're supposed to be told how many hours you're starting at what time up to this time, so that you can be able to count now. Am I working 8 hours or 9 hours? You understand, grade 12 learners? So it is important that you know the hours of work that you are expected to work, apart from what the Basic Conditions of Employment Act will actually regulate. Uniform allowances, what are they saying to you as an employee? Is there any money that you are going to get? Is there any uniform that you are going to get? Is there any money that you are going to pay for that uniform? How is it going to be? The issue of the uniform in your workplace environment, the travel benefits. So all of those are the aspects that are included in the contract of employment. Remember, we wanted only 4, but there is more aspects that are included in the contract of employment. The leave are included, the core duties, brief description of the work, date of employment, employers and employees' full names and addresses, the fringe benefits, the remuneration or agreed salary or wages. All of those are included in the contract of employment. The rate of overtime. If you're taking overtime, how much are you going to be paid for your overtime? Termination of service. Remember, when you're terminating the service, or the employer is terminating your service, there must be like they need to tell you for how long are you supposed to work, so that the notice, they're supposed to give you a notice. How much notice are they giving to you? Professional accountability, service ethics, all of those are included in the contract of employment. You can see the contract of employment also has got information or aspects that are there in the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. So those were the solutions for 7.1.1, and I want to believe that you managed, in fact, to get those marks. Working hours. Remember, you were supposed to talk about the working hours and the travel agents. How are they going to affect the travel agent who works full-time in a travel agency? So according to this, travel agents and also the working hours, travel agents will have a fixed working schedule. They mostly work a 40 to 45 hours per week. They work 9 hours a day. If they need to work shifts, they must not exceed the working hours. So it is important that when it comes to a travel agent who works full-time in a travel agency, they work 9 hours in a day, and the hours now per week, it is 40 to 45 hours per week. Once they work something more than 45 hours per week, they need to be compensated for that. If they're working more than 9 hours a day, that will be overtime, and they need to be compensated for that. If they need to work shifts, they must not exceed their working hours. So these are the working hours per week. These are the working hours per day. Even if they're working the shifts, those shifts cannot exceed these hours that we see in front of us here. And also, when it comes to sick leave, a medical certificate to be provided if absent more than 2 days, or if absent on a Friday or Monday. Remember, grade 12 learners, it raises eyebrows when an employee will keep absenting himself or herself on a Friday and also on a Monday. So in this particular company, or they must give a medical certificate if they absent themselves on a Friday or on a Monday. And also, if they are absent for more than 2 days, a medical certificate is going to be needed. So there's no way they can be absent for more than 2 days. They don't bring anything to the company. That will be a no work, no pay. That is going to apply. A no work, no pay is going to apply in that case. But if you provide a medical certificate, you won't have a problem. Leave is calculated over a 36-month cycle. What does that mean now, grade 12? It means that per year you have 12 days of sick leave, and also it is calculated now on a 3-year cycle. So if we're talking of a 3-year cycle, so it is calculated over a 36-month cycle. There are people though who will use all their days, and then something will have to happen if they use all their sick leave days, maybe within a year or within 2 years. So there's something we call a pillar, but we never spoken about that here. So all you need to know, grade 12 learners, is that their leave is calculated, their sick leave is calculated over a 36-month cycle, which is 12 days per year. 24 days sick leave in a 3-year period. Annual leave, normally 21 days allowed to be taken and applied for. So there are people who are actually taking their leave on a yearly basis, but they take it sometimes at the same time in the year. Maybe they know I'm only taking my leave in December, or I want to take my leave in June, whatever the case may be, to do whatever that they want to do. So there are people like these travel agent in a travel agency. They are entitled to that annual leave whereby they normally taking 25 days, and that is 21 days, and that is allowed, guys, to be taken and applied for. You just have to apply for it, and then you take your leave. It is acceptable. It is allowed. 7.2. Study the cartoon and answer the questions that follow. Adventures Travel Agency Customer Service. You see what is written there, grade 12. Please ring the bell to be noticed. We did professional image of staff and professional image of the business. Now you go to this business as a customer, as a tourist. You enter this travel agency. Even before you enter this travel agency, you are told that you need to ring the bell before you are noticed. What is happening? There are the employees. They are chatting there. So as a customer, you are told to ring the bell so that you are noticed. Let's look at the question. This is quite interesting. Grade 12 learners. The cartoon shows poor service. We've seen that. There is no way you can tell the customer to ring the bell so that the customer is being noticed by the employees who are chatting. You see, so it shows poor customer service. Everyone can be able to see that, isn't it, grade 12 learners? Now, what are you expected to do here? You are expected to discuss 2 ways how customer service policies may contribute to the professional image of this tourism business. I'm hoping that you are jotting down this question. The cartoon, all of us, we can see that it shows poor customer service. While it is showing the poor customer service, you are supposed now, grade 12 learners, to discuss 2 ways how customer service policies may contribute to the professional image of this tourism business. So if there is a customer service policy that is applied by this business, how is that going to help the situation that we see here? How is it going to, in fact, contribute to the professional image of this tourism business? Now, let's see. Remember, you are supposed to give 2 ways how customer service policies may contribute to the professional image of the business. Number 1, 7.21. If the business has customer service policies in place, it shows they value the needs and inputs of the customers. The customer will feel that he is recognized or he is noticed as a valuable paying stakeholder. If the policies are in place, the 2 employees won't ignore the customer because they will know the consequences. You see now, grade 12 learners. Now they are saying the customer must ring the bell before he or she is noticed. But if there was customer service policies in place in that business, they were not going to be doing that because they would know that they will have to suffer the consequences at the end of the day. Now that they know there are no customer service policies in place, they can do as they wish. That is why now the customer has to stand outside, ring the bell so that the customer is noticed. You see? If the policies are in place, the business is respected. It is respected by the customers because they can see they are well taken care of by the business and they are respected by the business. So the customers will respect even the business itself because now you can see that the policies are in place. It will be respected by its clients and it will project a professional image because now the business has got customer policies in place. This is your homework, grade 12 learners, whereby you're supposed to read the information below and answer the questions that follow. Are we hot or not? There is Hotel A and Hotel B. The physical appearance of a business contributes to a professional image. We have spoken about the aspects of professional image when it comes to staff. So now the physical appearance now of the business itself, because with the staff it is the professional appearance, but with the business, remember I have even mentioned the painting of the business, the landscaping of the business, the parking lot of the business. So that is the physical appearance of the business. So we are saying the physical appearance of a business contributes to a professional image. We know that. The picture below show the room keys issued by each hotel to their guests upon arrival. Now let us examine now the two keys. If you're looking at the first one, let's say this is our first key and this is our second key, and this is Hotel A and this is Hotel B. Insert and remove. There is an instruction there. Insert and remove the card or the key. And also Sunset Hotel, wishing you a warm stay. This is Hotel A and this is Hotel B. And then Hotel B has got this key. Let us go to the question. Remember, this is your homework, grade 12 learners. 7.1.1. In the pictures above, you've seen the two keys, isn't it? In the pictures above, identify the hotel that values its professional image. There was Hotel A and also Hotel B. And you've seen those two hotel room keys. Now, according to the pictures that you have seen, picture A and picture B, identify the hotel that values its professional image. Obviously, we know the answer, grade 12 learners, but you're going to write that answer when you're doing your homework. B, give one reason for your answer to question 7.1.1. Why are you saying this particular hotel, whether Hotel A or Hotel B, values its professional image? Why are you saying that? So now you're motivating your answer in 7.1.1a. 7.1.2. Apart from room keys, recommend 3 ways in which the professional image of a hotel rooms can be improved, for 6 marks now. Apart from the room keys, recommend 3 ways in which the professional image of a hotel room can be improved. So you have seen the room keys and we have chosen the correct one, that is actually showing that the hotel values its professional image. And then now you continue with 7.1.2. I want to believe grade 12 learners are going to do this homework alone, not with the assistance of anyone, so that you are able to revise these question papers. As I mentioned to you that we're actually extracting now from the previous question papers, so that you are able to see the questioning style as well as the answering style, especially when it comes to the solutions of these questions from these past papers. So grade 12 learners, you will also notice that we have spoken to the Basic Conditions of Employment Act and also the regulations that are there in the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, meaning that you need to know each and every regulation that is there, so that when the question is asked, you are able to answer the question at the best of your ability. And also, we have spoken to the professional image of staff and also the professional appearance. We have also spoken to hygiene, personal hygiene and grooming. So if you're looking at these 3 employees, you can see that. So it is important that as the staff, you respect the customers, because when you are looking like this, professional like this, it is not only for you, but it is for the people who are actually looking at you to see this person is so professional. This person is showing professional appearance, personal hygiene and grooming. And then they will trust that if you are able to take care of yourself, you will be able to take care of their needs in the business that you are working for. That is very important, grade 12 learners. And also, if you're looking at this business card here, these two business cards, they appear very neat, and there's information that you see there. So this also shows a professional image of the business. So if really they're issuing out the business cards that are in the colors of the company, and the name of the employee is written, the company name is there, sometimes the slogan and the logo, the contact details of the business, that shows professional image of the business, which is very important. So there is a lot that you can actually, this is stationery. So what else can you mention under stationery? You see now, there is a lot to be studied about grade 12 learners when it comes to this topic. And also we have spoken to the conditions of employment. We've spoken to the basic conditions of employment. So very important again, no exploitation of workers. This is just there to protect both the employer and also the employee in the business. And also grade 12 learners, we have spoken to the same professional image of staff. You can see these people are actually performing different jobs, but the way they appear, each of them appears very professional in his or her own job. So meaning that now where you are, what you do, you need to be able to always present yourself in a professional way. It is very important, grade 12. We have now come to the end of our lesson, grade 12 learners. This lesson was brought to you by the Northern Cape Department of Education in collaboration with Phakama Research and Development. My name is Lumka Mcokelwa. Grade 12 learners, goodbye.